Are we back? Are we back? Have we returned? Are we stinky? Yay! Yay! We're back! We're back! Woo! Hello. Alrighty then. Sorry about that. Thank you for bearing with me while I reset the stream. I gotta do that before every 24 hours to help the editors out. So there's that. Also, do you see this shit? I'm gonna try to put this back together real quick so you guys can use cat cam. I'm gonna need my green screen. Oh shit. How? How? First of all, what the fuck again? All right. I don't know how a green screen's gonna work with the race car bed in here now, but let's see it. Okay. Wow. Wow. Did I get pinged? If you did, it's only because I just had to restart stream. So I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, there we go. That's got to be somewhat acceptable. I think. Probably. Oh no, we are dropping frames. Wait, what the fuck? Why? Why? Oh, it's been fine this whole time. We're about to hang out with Adri. Download more internet? It's my upload. Think it's a Twitch thing? I don't think so. Download more RAM? I did all of that. I think we're good right now. Hopefully that doesn't jinx it. How are we doing? Yeah, a little meat load. That's him. Nope. 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 No. Now your claw's stuck, isn't it? My chair! Buddy. I'm putting a new chair on throne. Hi, boys. Give me a second. God, I'm so so fucking reflective right now. There we go. It's a little bit better. All right. All right. I imagine soon we will be wrangled. If you're still setting up, let me know. I'm good, I think. I think we're good. Glowing, literally glowing. I have my light on at the darkest possible like setting. Except for off. It's not off. You find a cat-sized office chair? No. We'll have to look later. Oh, she's calling me.
Hey, Tower.
Oh my God, hello?
Hi.
Hi, Stinky, how are you?
Doing okay. I'm how many hours in, guys? I'm not even that far in, let's be real.
Oh yeah?
I'm... Help me? Anyone? Can someone tell me how long? I'm 5 hours in.
Whoa, 5. Wow, you've been live for such a long time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We just hit 200 hours just now, literally.
That's absurd. That's fucking scary.
Nice job, gentlemen. Good
I'm
shit.
gonna put your browser on. There you are. So you're sharing everything, which is fine.
Oh God, no, it isn't here. This might be a little bit cleaner.
I'm gonna put a filter on you. Hold on, this is really funny.
You're doing the chroma filter, right?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
I need to get it from mine first. This is funny.
I want the uptime. Hold on, give me a second.
Oh, it's in my source mirror.
I can't believe we had 200 hours. Good job, gentlemen. Good job.
That's fucking insane. I've been popping into your stream.
I know you have.
Yeah, because I've been like
week and prepping. A half. Yeah.
I've been like, holy shit, I'm gonna die. What is she doing?
I'm just been chilling. At least I've been sleeping. You know, it's hard. I did a 24-hour stream too, and that shit was way harder than doing a subathon where you get to sleep and relax.
I'm sleeping.
Oh, you're sleeping.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh
hell yeah. You say, oh no.
Little baby, little tiny baby.
It's a good opportunity to show off Pancake. Also, why? I'm wondering why your quality is so low. And I'm curious if that's me.
I mean, it looks good on my end, but I can maybe finagle with the settings.
Hold on. Maybe you're just the wrong size, and I just need to make you bigger. But
I'm the wrong size?
Yeah, sure. That's auto frame. Ah! I just auto framed you instead of
Nice.
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 That's not at all what I wanted, but I could auto frame you, I guess. I guess. That's not what I wanted. I clicked on the other thing. Anyway, so this whole section has been just me figuring out how to set stuff up live because I'm very bad at it. I'm very bad at setting stuff up while live.
It takes way too long, and you know what people have been saying about my subathon? They've been calling it a be right back-a-thon, and I want to kill myself.
That's really funny, though.
I want to kill myself. That's so fucking mean.
That's so funny.
It's so mean.
Hey, look at you, though. You look great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm actively trying to set up this monitor to look a little bit better. That's not what I meant to send. Oh God. Everything's freaked the fuck out. Hold on. I'm just trying to grab one other thing.
Do you like the setup here?
I don't actually see your setup. I can pull it up on stream though. Hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna play some music under this, I guess. Relaxing vibes.
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Sorry, boys. Give me a second.
Do you guys like this music?
Titties.
So, we have.
Oh my God! I finally have your stream pulled up. I love that.
You like it?
Yeah.
So, Well, we have different backgrounds. We have this other one. We got.
Oh shit! You're
yes, like
crushing
girl
it.
boss. And we have space where we are in space. There's a lot going on here. So let me get chat up as well. There you guys are. There you guys are. So how's it been going? You've been going for so long. It's been insane.
It's been 200 hours and it's still going. Yeah, it's been good though. I've been having a lot of fun. I feel like it's one of those things it's gonna suck when it's over, because it's like, what do I even do with my life now? That's how my last one was too. So.
Hey, you know what? Thank you, Maya Danny, for the 15 months.
Hey.
Who's this bitch in the ponytail? I don't know.
What the fuck, bro? That's so rude. I like. Damn.
Oh my god.
Right, sorry.
Don't worry. So I told you earlier that we were going to be watching a movie. Yeah. Then I realized that I don't want to get us both DMCA.
Oh, okay.
And so I said nay to that. And then I decided I wanted to do Cringe. And then I was like, that's basic and boring, because I want to do more with you, Maya.
Fair.
I want more than that. And something that I remembered was that I popped into your stream one time, and you were screaming. And you know why? And this is what got me hooked. You were saying that Britney Spears is CGI.
Oh Jesus, not
and
this.
You know what? I'm serious though when I say this. I absolutely adore your takes. I think they're such a great perspective and something I would never normally hear. And what I want to talk to you about, I love that you have emotes going underneath.
Oh. I can stop that. I can stop it.
No, it's really funny and you should keep it.
Okay.
I really want to talk to you today about maybe some hot takes, but not only that, I want to talk to you about conspiracy theories, because I want to know your thoughts on things, and I want to give you my thoughts on things.
Okay, I would love to do that. That's awesome.
And now there's asses in your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cute. Give me 1 second. I'm going to change the title. So this is going to be a little podcast, and then also Cringe if you still want to do that. Jesus Christ. Dude, I love this. This is so funny. I wanted to do Cringe still if you want to, but most importantly, this is the Hot Takes Only podcast. It's a conspiracy podcast, and it's with my favorite streamer, me.
She's like, hello Neptune. Yeah, damn it.
So I wanted to start off just by I just wanted to talk a little bit more about this. Also, real quick, if the music is too loud, let me know. But I wanted to go over just a little bit of why that started and what happened, because I was just sitting there the whole time hoping is she gonna talk more about it? Please, dear God, I hope she's gonna talk more about it. I want to know more.
You're talking about the Britney Spears thing?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. To be honest, I haven't even I'm not fully in the rabbit hole. I saw something and I was like, okay, that's damning. What the fuck?
Right.
And but other than that, I'm not I don't know the details and the specifics. And I would have talked about it more. But there were people being stop, do not, don't even get into this right now. It's a whole thing. And I'm like, I didn't realize.
Is it a whole that's crazy?
Yeah, I guess people are all kind of up in arms about it, which I find amazing. I love it. But have you seen do you know some of the stuff? You've seen some of the stuff?
I saw the clip you were watching.
Yeah.
Where you were like, her eye, and I was like, oh shit. Wait, hold on. No, hold on. And I was like, this is really interesting, because I love hearing about conspiracy theories. I love that. And I think you are the one I want to talk to the most about them, because I just love your thoughts on these things. I think they're fun. I think they're very fun.
Thank you. I'm
like
what they call a believer. Okay.
Yeah.
There was the whole dragons thing. There, you know that.
Right.
You know.
And I think, honestly, can I just say, not the worst take. Not the worst take.
Paleontologists say that they can't prove that dragons didn't exist. If they say that, then I'm not going to listen to some ding dongs on the internet with their actually they couldn't have existed because be a paleontologist first and then talk to me. Loser, stinky.
Do you also mean, okay, so you mean like breathing fire specifically, or not? Or not?
Okay, so there's this thing with dragons, right? Okay, where it's like, oh, they can breathe fire, which is scrawled on many ancient old texts of different like myths and mythos and like whatever, like, but in like all these different places show like a fire breathing creature of some kind, right? Which is kind of fascinating. But what my argument for that was not necessarily, oh, I think that there were dragons that could breathe fire. It was that it's a possibility because dinosaurs existed for who knows how many fucking years. We have a bunch of their bones, but we don't actually have all of their organs. Like, we don't know what their organs were capable of producing or making. And there are things that exist in life right now, like the bombardier beetle, for example, which can chemically mix two compounds in its body to spew like a very hot like liquid at its enemy.
Oh,
so that's not fire, right? And it's a possibility that maybe there was a dinosaur. Like think about like in Jurassic Park, they had the Dilophosaur do the whole like frilled neck thing and like spit acid. You know, like it like that might not. I mean, that isn't real. That didn't actually happen. That wasn't like a. That wasn't like
was it real?
No. Jurassic Park. Like, there's no. As far as we know, there's no dinosaurs that could do shit like that. But we don't know for a fact. I know. Doesn't it seem like a thing that actually was a thing?
I would say, because I was about to say, like, isn't this a thing that exists? And then you just said it doesn't, and I was like,
no, it was completely made up. And but
man,
people
that sucks.
I know, right? It seems right, but regardless, my argument was, if it's possible that there is a creature or multiple creatures on this earth today that, yes, while it's a bug, could go ahead and, you know, combine whatever gas is in its body to make that liquid shoot out, or gases, compounds, whatever, maybe it could have been a possibility. So maybe it wasn't fire necessarily that a dragon could breathe out, but maybe it was something else. Maybe it was some other sort of compound that when mixed together, they could like spray or spew. Or maybe it was fire, because that'd be fucking sick. That'd be so fucking,
maybe it was fire, though.
Maybe it was.
It's like, I've seen like acid, you know what I mean? Like acid, organ, someone saying organ shootout, flammable liquid from mouth, something, teeth, scrape to make spark equals fire.
It's just that easy.
I love that. It's just that easy. It really is. It really is. So simple. So simple. Give me like one hot second.
Yep.
Zed, I want you to send me just the top of this. I want the girl keep gate light. Can you just send me that? Thank you. That's it. Anyway, so I'm not like, since it's kind of like, honestly, the way that people saw dinosaurs and then they were like, oh, by the way, they might have just looked like giant chickens. It's like, it's so hard to like know like what's going on. That it's
absolutely.
I'm open to whatever. I'm open to see the sights. You know what I mean? If something happens, I'm open to it. I'm not gonna say it's like not a real thing. Oh, perfect. I have it.
I'm very much on the I like to keep an open mind into anything is possible. Anything could technically exist, as opposed to saying like, no, that's not possible. Because think about how, you know, people didn't know that the earth was round and that it was a sphere. People thought that it was flat, and people didn't think that you could go to the moon, and people didn't know what the stars were, and like, there's so many things that we've figured out through time that we've gotten to know, but I don't think we were there yet with everything that we know.
Right. So how do you feel about like Bigfoot? Like, what's your thoughts? Like, hot or like?
Oh, 100%. I'm engaged to him. So that's kind of crazy.
Right.
So I lived in Washington for like 3.5 years, and it's like the state to go to if you want to like see Bigfoot. There's, you know, all these different like tours you can go on, and they even have like an entire like crew to like go out and spot them, and it's like a whole thing that you can like go out and do. But I don't think that there's actually a Bigfoot. I
feel like we would have found it by now. Bigfoot. Right?
Yeah.
We burned down so many fucking forests. We've done so much garbage shit. I feel like at this point, he would have been somewhere.
Yeah, like I think that over time, it's become more and more of like a fun, just like thing to be in on, but not necessarily something that's actually real. Back before, you know, satellite and infrared and all that kind of shit existed, I think it would be, you know, it's you know, oh, is that the missing link? Is that what Bigfoot is? Is he the you know, the last one or whatever? But there's no shot. I don't think so, personally.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I think there's such a potential for some crazy shit to be at the bottom of the ocean. Like skeletons of, I mean, even fucking dragons, I guess, maybe. I don't know, some weird shit. I feel like some weird shit has died, is at the bottom of the ocean. And then on top of that, there's like really fucked up weird creatures down there that could be like, I don't know, like even crazier monsters that maybe we would have had in fiction.
Sorry.
Yes. Like a kraken. Dude.
Sorry. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that there's probably, I mean, considering the level of the ocean that we don't know yet, and I used to study this. I was gonna try, very much try, to be a marine biologist when I was younger. I was in like marine biology in high school, and I was going to go to Florida Tech University to study, but they required a 4-year like prerequisite, and since I lived in Arizona at the time, it was like, for studying marine biology, it just did not mix. But I was even now, I love the ocean. I love the idea of scuba diving. I've never done it myself. I don't know if I can technically, but it's like a whole thing. But like, I've done so much research about like megalodons, as well as like other like ancient dinosaurs or other creatures that used to live in the ocean but no longer do now, or maybe still do but below like an ocean floor or something. Like there's so many different theories about like the pressure, and that the floor of the ocean isn't actually the floor of the ocean. You heard about that one?
What else would it be?
So there's like this theory that the floor of the ocean is only like a shell, essentially, and then underneath the floor that covers the ocean, like floor essentially, it's just like a very thin like layer, but we can't really go further than that because of pressure and shit. Like we can't get through that layer.
Right.
But beneath that layer, that's where like the other crazy shit exists, you know?
What the fuck? So we gotta start drilling more and often. We gotta get down there.
Or by doing that, we'll unleash fucking megalodons and giant squid upon the world, and we don't want to do that shit either. I don't know.
Cthulhu. Yeah, let's see it. Dude, that would be
Cthulhu.
Crazy. That'd be so sick. You know what's okay? I heard something super interesting, and I wanted to get your thoughts about it. Look at the big fin squid and tell me aliens aren't living among us. I think they are just animals. Sorry, I was reading chat. I think they're animals that just look fucking weird. but in the same line as aliens, okay, I did want to talk about this. I saw a video very recently that was talking about aliens and talking about like,
was it the movie Aliens?
No, it wasn't. It was actually a video discussing the possibility of aliens not existing, but for the reason that we're early. Like we're early in the universe.
Oh,
and so,
yeah.
So other people aren't fucking ready yet, which would make sense unless they be moving shit, pyramids kind of vibe. But like, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but I don't agree with that theory, because to think that Earth is the oldest planet or the most developed or anything, I think the idea that we're the most advanced is kind of, in a way, like arrogant, if that makes any sense. It's just like I don't think that Earth is the oldest. I think that there's got to be something out there that either just don't give a fuck or they're too far away. Like because like we've already found planets that act like Earth does, right? We just can't like get to those planets and stuff, and those planets have to be going, there have to be more of them and more of them and more of them. Some maybe, you know, trillions among trillions of years old, who knows. So, you know, I think that is kind of, I don't know, just I don't want to say self-centered, but it is like sort of like a, oh, humans, of course we're the most advanced, blah blah blah. Like, I don't think so.
I don't really see it as like we're advanced. I think we just got lucky. I think that's really it. I think we might have just gotten lucky earlier than maybe some other people, because it's like we still have travesties, right? The extinction of dinosaurs and dragons. So, you know, like obviously, you know, there's environments even as great as ours that we can thrive in.
Sorry. I'm trying to fix a thing and I'm having a hard time with it. I'm sorry.
No worries. None at all. But I feel like at the very least there is a possibility that there could have been something that was out there and maybe they just got wiped out. And maybe people got to restart. I don't know. I feel like, though, what I do feel like is that I feel like there's I don't really know if there's anyone more advanced than us, because I feel like they would have like killed us already. I think they would have seen us, been like, that's fucked up. What the fuck? We should get rid of that. It's like a pest problem.
I literally think that they just don't know about us.
I mean, we have been making a lot of noise, to be fair. We've been like putting stuff in space. Fucking space garbage all up in that bitch.
Maybe that's nothing compared to what, like, you know, like there could be alien civilizations out there that are making their own civilizations. Maybe we're just part of this alien terrarium where they have a bunch of different little worlds living under their thumb, and they're just going, oh yeah, that one's doing okay for now, and they're not fucking with us, you know?
I mean, honestly, that's like a big thing, is like, are we just really small, right? Because we have like little tiny cells and shit like that, and that's fucking weird.
Right? So like think about that. You've heard like the space giant theory?
I if it's in the same vein of what I'm leaning towards, it's like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's just that like we're all like one cell. Like Earth is one cell on this body of a gigantic celestial Earth creature, and we're just one organism, and basically even our cells are made up of those things, but just tinier and tinier and tinier, and it keeps going infinitely. And that's why there's like different dimensions and like an infinite amount of possibilities and blah 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 blah, because there's so many like combining things. Yeah, I feel like
that's very possible, because it's just like we don't know, because we would be so infinitely small at that point that like the one thing I don't agree with is we are not in a simulation. I think that's kind of, if the simulation is like being
it's a really
tiny,
good one if it is like it's pretty immersive, you know, not a lot of bugs.
Like really good VR. I really like very high quality HD. But yeah, I don't know. Do we know what the ants in our backyard are doing? I mean, you could go look. I'm sure you could figure it out if you just went outside.
That's the thing, though.
Touch some grass.
We might touch some grass. I need to do that too. We might not know. We might not know what the ants in our backyard are doing, but we do sort of know, like, if there's a problem, right? Like, if there's suddenly 10 anthills out there, we're like, whoa, wait a second, maybe we should call an exterminator. Get that shit figured out. We don't like that shit. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just, maybe we are just lucky. Maybe we are the only ones out there, but I think that it's far more possible that we're just small and people don't know that we're people. The advanced aliens or creatures that are, you know, as intelligent as we are, or anything like that. I just don't think they really know about us or don't care about us yet. We're not that big of a problem.
Here's a thought. They're all in the deep ocean that we haven't explored yet, and they're just waiting to come out.
Well, that's what people like theorize, like octopus come from, right? Like they look at
Oh,
octopus and
really?
they're like those. Yeah, people think that like octopus and other are they cephalopods? I think they're cephalopods. Other maybe they're not, but either way, like other creatures in that family, they think that they're like aliens, which is kind of cool. I like that.
Crazy.
It's kind of neat.
Would you okay if that was
Pretty
the case?
stupid fucking aliens though. They get killed by humans all the time. I don't know.
I mean, like humans kill humans. We could stop doing that. That would be smart, right? Stop killing off your own human race.
Yeah,
but we keep doing it.
That would be really cool if we just collectively agreed, like as a human
Like,
race, to do that. Yeah.
I'm like, that's not cool with me. I'm done.
I don't like that
okay.
anymore. I'm gonna stop killing people.
But I feel like in that sense, it's like I feel like there could be maybe an animal that's smarter, but just not built right. You know what I mean? Like just built at a disadvantage to be killed.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would be possible. Even
like
though it's
whales, you know, whales are like
Yeah.
super smart or whatever, but like they don't got fingers or shit, you know, like they're just kind of there, like, you know, swimming and shit. They can't even like get away that quickly if someone tried. Like, why do you think whaling was like such a big, like, huge problem in the past? It's like,
right.
it's way too easy to do it. And there's also this thing about like human stamina. The reason why humans are better than animals or have an advantage over other animals, I should say, is because out of every other animal, our stamina is by far the best. A cheetah can outrun us a million times one, but if we just walk after an animal for long enough, eventually they will be exhausted and we will be able to catch up with them and kill them. And that's how we hunted mammoths. That's how we hunted down bears and lions and tigers and shit, was just following them, just literally tracking them until we were able to just get rid of all of them. Get them out of here.
Yeah, we're literally
we are Mike Myers.
It follows. We're just It Follows. And you're like, this is a bad ending to the movie, but it's like, no, this is just like what we do.
Is that a movie? It Follows?
Yeah.
Is it scary?
It's just okay, so It Follows is literally just like there's a monster, it can shapeshift into literally whatever, but it can only walk. It can literally only walk. It'll eventually catch up to you.
That's like the fucking snail thing, you know, like the there's like a snail that wants to kill you and like you can't get it to stop moving or whatever, like it's always after you, can't kill it. Something like that. You've heard that, right? Yeah. And you're like, what do you do? What do you do to get away from it? Like, I don't know, get on a boat. It's so inconvenient. Yeah, like get on a boat, just like get away from it.
Because like we don't know do we know how deep the ocean goes? Like, have we ever really seen or touched the bottom of the ocean, the deepest part?
I don't think anyone's touched the bottom of the ocean. Like stuff is sunk there, obviously. Yeah, no. I don't think anyone's ever been to the bottom of the ocean because you can't because of pressure. They just kind of know, they have like an idea of how big it is because of like technology. They're able to determine that with sound waves and echolocation or some shit. They got lasers in the water.
So like, if you went on the ocean, you went across the ocean, and you made the snail go that deep, like, we don't know how long it would take to really like make it to you on the other side.
Can a snail even swim?
I'm assuming it would have to like crawl at the bottom. You know what I mean? I'm assuming it's walking with its legs, as snails do. You know what I mean? I that's how I'm viewing it, right? Kind of similar to the It Follows thing, where it's just it kind of walks everywhere. It doesn't use cars. I would assume it can't use boat. I don't actually know the logistics to that.
That's humans. That humans. Literally is just humans. Yeah.
Just the determination is scary. I feel like the only, like, fish could be better if they were just determined enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just grow legs. Like,
they don't have the intelligence to be determined though. You know, that's a very human trait, is determination. Right. Which is weird when you think about it. Cause like there are other emotions that you can see in animals, but like determination is the active like willingness to do something. And I think that like a dog, for example, isn't determined to eat food. They just see food and they eat it. You know what I mean? Like there's not really like having determination isn't like there's not a dog in the world that wakes up going, oh, I'm gonna get this done today. You know, I'm determined to do it. Like that doesn't happen. They just do the object permanence or whatever. They just do what's around them.
Right.
You know?
This is an anecdote because I was watching Wubby's stream and it was the guy that was talking that had the song about monkey glory hole, and they were and it was about the reason why is there was like an article about this monkey that got pregnant. They couldn't figure out how. It was literally because the monkey in the next cage over was so determined to bang the other monkey that they made it happen through like a crack in the cage. And it's like, is that determination? Could you consider that determination?
I think the monkey just horny monkey make that happen like that.
Yeah, but like you really have to like think and make it work, right? Like,
no, dude. Okay, animals are stupid, dude. They just go. They just do. So like I always had dogs my entire life growing up. When I was little, we had these tiny little shitty Pomeranians. They were awesome. They were horrible. Hated them, loved them. They were the worst. Whenever our female dogs were in heat, the male dogs would do whatever they could, including learn how to climb like a little chain link fence that we made for them in order to get to dog. But that dog isn't sitting there looking at the fence thinking, I can fucking climb that. I can climb that fence. They're just jumping up against the fence. Oh my god, this is working. This is working. This is working until they're like finally over the fence. But they're not sitting there going, okay, but if I place my paw here and then I hook my other paw around it.
That's not determination though, right?
Exactly.
That's not determination.
So. Determination takes an active thought, I think, other than just the doing of that thing.
The innate need.
Yeah.
But maybe that's where it all begins. Maybe that's where it all begins.
It is. I think
where
it is.
you adapt to be smarter so you can be determined to do or like get to the things that your desire is to. Does that make sense? Just the smart way? It's so complicated.
I think you're definitely onto something there. I think it's intelligence which can lead to determination, but I don't think the end goal of intelligence is to lead to certain emotions. I think that those are a side effect of having intelligence.
I feel like our intelligence developed because we wanted to do survival instincts better. Not because we were determined. You know what I mean? I want to survive longer. I need to survive longer. And quite simply, I used a rock as a shield and that gets passed down. I need to spark up. Real as fuck, dude. That's good time.
Big true.
We accidentally made fire. This is true. Maybe it's not necessarily just determination. Thank you, Skirt, for the tier 1. Thank you so much. Maybe
I was just gonna say, I think part of that is luck too, like accidentally making fire. It's like that's something that you do as an accident, but it takes a certain type of brain to be able to take an accident and turn that into something. Like my dog could accidentally step on my foot, but they're not gonna think, oh my god, if I step on their foot again, I'm gonna get them to react in a certain way. You know, they don't have the intelligence to figure out what that really does. Which is why you can't really an inefficient way of training your dogs is by yelling at them, because they don't understand how that relates, and then they're just scared all the time. They react based off of things that they see, like simply, okay, I don't bark when mailman come, I get treat. But they don't think, okay, so the mailman just rung the doorbell, I'm not going to bark and therefore not going to get a treat. They just learn by repetitiveness, you know what I mean? So they don't have like the intelligence to have, generally all animals don't have that intelligence, that sort of thing. Here's
a thought.
Sorry.
Do you think, I know we're really fucking up some breeds of dogs because we're overbreeding them to look like fucking, pugs. But do you think dogs are getting smarter? or are they just adapting to what we're doing? Because like we could potentially try to start breeding dogs to be smarter, I guess. Like we could potentially do that.
No, God, please,
maybe.
No.
But
No!
has it started?
No!
Are they dumber? They might be dumber. Wait, hold on. They might be dumber. Hold on, wait.
I don't think that. I think with enough time, I think that given the opportunities and the resources, yeah, they could become smarter. Just like how over time we became smarter as a species and turned into something else. I don't know if we'll ever get to the level of like dogs can talk now, but we might be able to communicate with them better. Kind of like
we have the buttons.
Exactly. I was about to say the buttons are a really good like example of communicating with dogs better, but I think that has more to do with, again, sort of, and this might sound arrogant, but our intelligence in a way, coming up with a way that we can interact with our dog in order to get them to communicate to us better what they want. Like Buttercup, I have a German Shepherd. Well, I have 2 dogs, but my German Shepherd, so fucking smart, absolutely genius of a dog. She knows. We trained her with 4 buttons. We haven't used them in a while, but we changed them. We trained her with
an old Cherokee told his grandson, "My son,
Jesus
there is
Christ,
a
I'm
battle
so
between
sorry.
2
Give me
wolves
just a
inside us
second."
all. One is evil.
Sure.
It is
Also, thank you,
anger,
Skirt,
jealousy,
for another
greed,
tier 1
resentment,
gift sub. I did see
inferiority,
that.
lies, and ego. The other is
I think my dog is too smart, but I'm biased.
sorry.
I feel like there's either really dumb dogs or really smart dogs, and then you have to, if you get 2 dogs, you have one of the dumb one, and you have to have one of the smart one.
That's
like,
literally our
it's the same
situation.
with
Yeah.
cats. It's the same thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if Pancake's a smart one or a dumb one, but if I got another hamster, I'm sure
know.
that would be obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think given enough time, I was making this argument about cats a while ago too. Granted, this doesn't have anything to do with necessarily with intelligence, but I was talking to DJ, and one of the conversations we had was if cats eventually will evolve to exist without claws because they're not needed anymore, like house cats. You have house cats that are bred long enough where they never use their claws ever. They don't need them. They don't fight with anything. They don't fight with anyone. Given a span of, thousands of years or hundreds of thousands of years, are they eventually gonna like not need their claws? And DJ was saying no, because they don't really like take anything to have claws. But
Yeah.
Humans used to be covered fully in thick hair. There was no reason to really get rid of that. I guess you could say like global warming.
Well, here's the thing too.
But
Here's
global
the
warming
thing.
and global cooling was okay. Sorry.
It would still take a very long time, and even then, I maybe it would just change into something that's more useful and not necessarily go away. Because we have nails. We have nails, which probably a long time ago were claws or something else, and we still have appendixes, which is bullshit, and wisdom teeth, which is also
well, you know what the
bullshit.
appendix does, right?
It pops in my tummy and it makes me go to the hospital.
Same, but like, do you know what it actually do you know what it does when it functions?
I know what it was. Wasn't it supposed to like do something for disease control or no? I'm probably really far off on that.
No, you're not even that far off. But the thing is that like, so there's a theory essentially that the appendix helps with some of like the bile buildup from your gallbladder essentially. But it does it so inefficiently that's now why like they're vestigial. But people don't actually know what the appendix ever did. We don't know. We have no idea. We remove it. We remove the appendix knowing that it might actually benefit people in some way, but don't actually know what it fixes, which is really weird.
Radio says, I thought it was about eating grass. I genuinely don't know. I'm gonna just do a quick Google. But yeah, I had to have mine removed when I was very young. I can't spell and write at the same time.
I had mine removed when I was like 14 too, so I feel that.
What does supposed to do? Why can't I not type? It was supposed to play a role in mammalian. What the fuck does that mean? Mucosal immune function. But yeah, it says it still says the function of the appendix is not completely clear, so they still really don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
so
so
what
useless.
if your appendix is like the key to living like 200 years and we're just removing it from people because we don't know like how to unlock that shit yet? We
Well,
just don't
I
have
mean,
the trait figured out.
It could just kill you too. I mean, like if it pops, it could kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either maybe die early or
So-
like
DJ's in my chat and he says, so we become bipedal, gain the ability to sweat and lose body hair. Then it became a matter of sexual selection because we found less body hair more attractive. Why though? Why though? Why is that the
like,
case?
Come on, dude. Why?
Yeah, why is it?
More hair.
Well, because it doesn't really make sense for like the idea of like men being hairy being okay and then women being hairy not being okay. It's like if that's an instinctual thing, why? Where does that come from? Why is that a thing?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes those instincts are just kind of like fucking random. You know what I mean? Because like birds really do just like, I want giant feathers, and it's like, but what does that do? Like, does that do something? Like,
or the like the fact that they're just like, I'm just gonna head south now. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it. Me and my whole family and the family down the street and all these other birds, we're all just gonna go south at the same time. Like,
yeah.
how the fuck?
I feel like some of those like don't, maybe we don't know because it's been so long at this point, and maybe there was a reason, but sometimes I feel like in evolution there's random things that just get picked up that's not really necessary, but it just happens. Also, someone said, Natty said, when I adopted my cat, they said I can't declaw him or they would take him back per our contract. Yes. He's purely inside and never goes outside. There's a reason you can't declaw cats.
You really shouldn't declaw
That's
cats.
because,
That's horrible.
yeah, it's like taking off like fingies.
Yeah, it's literally like removing this part of your hand. It's not even just the nail.
Yeah.
It's like your entire whole ass knuckle. That's
Right.
so fucked up. It's
Yeah.
so fucked up.
So that's why you can't, is because it's considered abusive to your animal, because it's essentially like taking off part of your finger, not necessarily just like a nail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people think that it's like, it's just a nail. It's not. And I see where that gets messed up though. So
even if it was
yeah.
just a nail, it's like, why the fuck? Can you imagine getting your nails ripped out and then not ever being able to grow them back again? Like, that'd be fucked up. And yes, it's not necessary for like a cat to have them if they're always an inside cat, but it's a matter of their physiology, their physical being. You're taking away a part of their body.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to. If you don't want a cat that scratches up your furniture, you don't get a cat.
Yeah. So
It's crazy.
So we did have a cat when I was growing up. And obviously I was a little wee baby. I didn't know what it meant. But he had been declawed. And the reason why was because we were kids and he kept on scratching us a lot. Which makes sense because we were little gremlin children. I have a feeling, like, I always
Still
say
are.
like
It's crazy.
I always say like probably don't get a cat or a dog with a small child, because they're going to poke and prod at that animal, and that animal is going to defend itself probably if it has a very normal temper. If it's like a nanny dog, maybe you'll get lucky. But like usually like you gotta keep track of your kids, or I don't know, but that's the reason.
That's honestly one of the biggest things I'm worried about when it comes to having kids. Like, I have 2 dogs, and I know that Meatloaf would be great around a kid. Meatloaf's our cat. He's perfect, literally perfect. He wouldn't give a fuck. The biggest danger would be he would sit on our kid. You know, you gotta watch out for that shit.
Yeah.
But our dogs, it's like they go crazy, and they're very friendly, and they've never hurt anybody, but it's like they're just big dogs. So it's you know, having a new thing in the house that they can knock over or play with or get too excited, or maybe something that bugs them too much. I mean, we're lucky we have dogs with really, really good temperaments, but they're still that little bit of worry because it's the unknown of like bringing in a new human to the situation, you know? It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, you also don't know, like, I've seen kids just, like, fucking hit animals, and I'd be like, what? Because they don't know what they're doing, because kids are stupid and punchable.
Like, I want to pet the dog.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, what are you doing? and they don't understand what they're doing or stuff like that. And usually, honestly, I really think it's like if you really just keep a keen eye out, I think it's really all you can do. And most times if you have like a well-behaved animal, it's really that would probably be the best. Like, I don't think you necessarily have to get rid of animals because they're big or you know, like the potential
you just have
to
to
do that.
keep a like that's the thing. It's like I would never get rid of Miso or Buttercup if we were having a kid. It's just a matter of like being, even when you're 100% sure, you're not 100% sure. Like you never leave them alone together, and you never know what to expect. So it's, you know, animals are unpredictable at the end of the day. It's like Buttercup has these moments where she would never actually do anything to Miso, but she has these moments where she just snaps back at him, like if he's really bothering her, like because Miso always wants to be around her. He's always trying to lick her ears and stuff, and Buttercup just sometimes is not having it. And she'll
leave me alone.
Dude, she'll sound so aggressive and so angry, and it's so fucked. So it's sorry, 2 seconds.
No worries.
So
also, can I just say real quick, thank you, Chuckle Bones, for you said buying had to get a sweatshirt, how to get a sweater. Let's go, dude. Thank you so much for buying. Appreciate it. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Scary. It's like they're unpredictable. Even when you think you know them really, really well, it's like you still don't. It's they're animals at the end of the day.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. But I think you're dying.
No,
okay.
I was having a little bit of an issue. Good now, everything's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So we got a little off track, and that's okay because that's what I like. But I have another question. It's about conspiracy theories still. So Miso would. Never mind. So pyramids. So you don't think aliens exist? So you think pyramids definitely not aliens?
No, I think aliens exist.
Okay, but do you think they visited then and decided to build pyramids for us?
No. No, I don't.
That's you really went slow on that one.
I didn't really think about that one for a second. I haven't thought about that in so long. No, I don't think so, though. I think that we probably just didn't record however the fuck we actually moved the pyramids. I think that the ancient Egyptians, out of all the amazing hieroglyphics they made and all the imagery they had, they just kind of left that shit out.
Yeah.
You know? They just didn't really depict that one well.
True.
And maybe there's a reason for that, but I think that's one of those things that's been lost to time and history, and it's really unfortunate because we might never know, but maybe they had a good reason to do it.
Maybe. That's true. I
thought we did record it. It was logs or something.
Logs of aliens, or logs of like a tiny like.
I think he means like taking logs and then like shifting the weight of the.
You mean like
stone.
literal logs?
I think
you
so.
mean leveraging?
There's a guy on YouTube who has recreated building with huge stones and Stonehenge and pyramids using those methods.
And he was able to?
He was able to build a pyramid?
I would assume, right? Otherwise, that'd be kind of a lame video. I can't. End.
Guys, I tried. It's really hard.
Really difficult.
DJ, can you link that in chat? I want to just see. I want to see his version of a pyramid. I want to see this dude making like the fucking the Giza, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's called, I think.
Yeah. The Giza. I agree. I think that's what it's called. There's also a theory though that a time traveler had gone back in time and just helped them build something. I think it's because there was a hieroglyphic that people were citing and being like, what is that object in their hand? What is that? And they're like thinking it's a phone or some shit. Or like they found like a watch in a burial thing, which could have just been dropped from some random ass archaeologist. Is that an archaeologist? Grave robber. That's what I'm looking for.
I don't know. It's kind of I think
Me when I'm thinking as fuck.
It's so fucking hard, bro. Well, it's just like, cause like things that don't have an answer, you know, and it's like in using the limited knowledge that I have to try to like piece together that shit is. Oh wait, hold on 2 seconds. I got sent the video of the log guy. I wanna see his shit. So, wait, so the idea behind Stonehenge is we don't know how that was made either.
Isn't there? Oh wait, no, that's the heads. Did you see that the heads have bodies underneath them? The like stone head.
Oh, the Easter Island heads.
Yeah. They have whole ass bodies that were just buried. They're
really?
under there. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. How did they get buried?
I don't know. Just time. Time. Well, it was a commercial.
But the head stayed. That seems, that seems kind of convenient.
They're buried. They're standing. So they're standing like this, and then soil is coming down on top of them.
I know, but I'm saying so like we didn't know, like there was no record of the Easter Island heads having bodies, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So that's what's interesting is that at some point people made the stone heads or the stone bodies, like the whole thing, and then that got through years of whatever the fuck buried over time, and then we still saw their heads, and then later learned that wait, those aren't just heads, there's whole body. Like we did all of that without actually having record that there were bodies in the first place.
We just dug.
Which seems convenient.
We just was like, what if we dig? And then we were like, oh, there's bodies. There's like whole ass bodies down here. We only found the itty bitty legs later. Are they actually tiny little legs? That would be really funny, please.
That is really funny. DJ said the guy that built the Stonehenge and like the pyramid, like all that stuff himself, was that he wasn't using recorded methodology, just his own theories based off of technology that they had access to. But that's not necessarily, I don't think that necessarily means that's how they did it.
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it could have been.
I ain't got a clue. Let me see if I can just paste this in here. Will this work? Nope.
Isolated island with no written history. What do you mean? How could we have known? Well, they're like, why didn't whoever made the Easter Island heads like record it, write it down, make a hieroglyphic, do some sort of, you know.
That's a whole ass body.
It just seems convenient. Oh wow, yeah.
Cause they just they just dug. People just like dig, and they're like, I wonder what this does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you go to the beach, what do? You dig a hole. Why do we want to dig so bad? I want to know about that. Why do we want to dig so bad?
That's a really good question.
Why we look at sand and go, I want to go down there?
Why would you record it as a whole ass stone motherfucker as proof? The same reason, like the reason why anybody records anything they make to log that shit for the rest of history. That's why there's recording that. What you could make that argument for anything else. Say, oh, why would anybody record down that they made Google? Why would anybody make a recording of how they solved the maths, how they made the atom bomb? Like, you can make you can say, oh, it's right there. They just did it, but it's like, what does that? So you're not, so that's it then? Like, you're just not, we're gonna invent the wheel but then never write about it? Like, what do you mean?
I guess cause at a certain point it was just common knowledge. And also way back when, a lot of things were kind of like, you just tell the next generation, very verbal history, and that just got completely lost as well. Of people, you know, like there'd just be generations where they pass down stories. And eventually we got to like writing stuff down, but in a lot of cultures, we just didn't do that. And I think there's like a type of cement that was made way back in the day that is, honest to God, apparently the best fucking cement. And we just don't know how to make it because no one wrote it down because it was used so commonly.
See, and that's the
Roman
stuff that's the same stuff that I'm talking about. I'm saying, like, there's so many things that have been lost to history and time because it just wasn't written down. It wasn't recorded. Like, same thing with the pyramids. Like, how the pyramids were made was never recorded, never written down. So we still don't know how it came about. Doesn't mean that it was put there by aliens, just like the stone heads. Doesn't mean that it was put there by aliens. It doesn't mean that. And the same thing with the Stonehenge and everything. It's like aliens didn't necessarily have to be involved. It makes more sense that we just didn't write it down at the time.
But also, can I just?
But it's kind of crazy that they didn't. Sorry, no, go ahead.
It is, but I mean, there's so many reasons of why things get lost to time. Also, Daddy Butter is saying the cement repairs itself. They recently found that when the water runs through the cracks, one of the minerals it runs into in the cracks refills them. So there's just a chemical, reaction that happens. There's a chemical reaction that happens with the water that goes into the cement, where it just makes more.
But that has to. Is it?
It's like minerals in the water.
Does the water turn into the cement then? Because where's the matter coming from? Like
in the water. There's stuff in the water, like that falls out of the sky or salt water.
So like the minerals inside of the water interact with the cement in a way which builds the cement back up, essentially.
Yeah, it just like sticks.
That's insane.
Yeah, salt water and minerals and the cement and stuff, it remixes and re-cements the cracks of farm. It's like this. The stuff in the cement is displaced by the water and then fills the cracks as it moves through. So complicated. There's so much. It's
fascinating. I wonder why we don't do that more. Like what?
We lost the fucking recipe.
How do they know? Like, they can look at these rocks and figure out what it is that makes the rocks more, but we can't replicate the same thing?
I think maybe the materials that were used are not really things that we use today, probably.
See,
like things that were normally used back then. Yeah, right? It's just because people think it's so normal that why would we have to write this down? Why would I write down what flour is? Right? It's such a normal thing. Thank you, Chuckle Bones, for the tier 3. Ooh.
I feel like that's less, like, I think that also has to, going back to intelligence, that has to deal with that, because as we've developed as a species, we've wanted to keep record more and more of accomplishments, achievements, so that they're not lost to history.
Yeah, because we kept fucking up. Kept losing it. Or people are like, there's wars, things are burned, like structures are torn down that may have like history written on the walls,
like the lost library of Alexandria or whatever it was, like the library. If that's, I could be thinking of something else, but I seem to remember like a library that was filled with like hundreds, thousands of years of knowledge or something like that, and it all got burnt down and went to shit. No way to keep,
honestly,
lost everything.
There's so many instances like that, but I mean, just in general, things that are like that, right? That's just one example of many that I'm sure we haven't even heard of, which is really unfortunate. Because of course, when you take over someone else, you want your legacy to go through and not theirs.
Yeah.
Attempt to break it down and rediscover. Oh, what the fuck are you saying? Attempt to break it down and rediscover with 50% chance of success, or preserve and wait for a higher chance of success later. The cement.
Why can't
limited amount of cement?
A limited amount of cement, but okay, like leave some then. Like like take like a little bit of whatever cement this is, and that's the cement that you have to reverse engineer and like play around with it, and then the rest of it you save for a rainy day. You know what I mean?
Save for a rainy day. I have no clue the details on that, but I'm sure really I know they've been trying to figure out what the fuck it is. I know they have. They're just not entirely sure. I guess I think maybe they just haven't figured it out completely yet. Yeah. Someone said, Garum, is that how you say it? Oh, someone got banned. Yikes.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Used to be banned. Wait, what? Used to. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong things. Used to be used in almost every single dish, and chicken used to be something that only royalty would eat regularly. It's just interesting that human history flip-flops like that so often. It's accessibility of what is what there is more of and what the culture is like, oh, this is high end and this isn't, and that all definitely depends on, you know, the availability of what that is. If there's an excess of something, it's going to be accessible to the poor as well because it's cheap. But if royalty has to pay a fuck ton of money for spices, they're the only ones that are going to have it. Used to have a third spice and pepper? Oh, England used to have a third spice to go with salt and pepper, and we don't know what it is because no one wrote it down since it was so normal. We're just dumb. We just head empty sometimes.
Dude, I can't imagine the things that were lost to time, and it's crazy to think about, like, just how much, how many things. Oh, I was gonna say earlier, the periodic table, right? Like, we have this periodic table with all the different elements on it to tell you what everything is made up of and all the things that we used and everything. And I wonder if there's anything that's on the periodic table that we don't use anymore on like a day-to-day basis, that things that aren't like really thought about combined with whatever mixed together to create something that was used back in the day that people just didn't know was that mineral, didn't know that was that element. Like if you were to take fucking chromium, I don't know if that's one of them, hold on, periodic table. If you were to take, you know, oh my god, chromium was one of them. If you were to take chromium and iridium and you were to make some sort of like new concrete or whatever, and you just didn't know about it because you didn't know that's what it was, so... Or have we, have scientists taken every element that there is and combined them all together with all the different variations to make whatever the fuck we, like, to see what happens? Like, have we done that yet? Is that a thing that even they're trying to do? I don't know.
Probably. I mean, scientists just be like, what if we do this?
Yeah,
what happened?
Yeah.
We've been doing that shit for so long, just being like, what would happen when we put these together? And then someone explodes. And you're like, oh shit. Whoops. But I don't think there will ever be like a finished, we've combined everything we possibly can. Yeah. I don't think there will ever be that. Because I'm sure we'll always find new things and
what if there's new things in space?
True. Literally true. Like we could just be like, what the fuck is that? Oh, something new on the periodic table to add, you know? Yeah. There's so much to explore. Yeah. Which is really cool and very exciting, and I love that.
That's another one of the reasons why I don't want to say like it isn't possible. Like time travel, for example, like the idea of time travel existing isn't even that far off. Or sorry, not time travel. Teleportation. Teleportation isn't even like that far off, because if like while we as humans probably will never be able to just teleport, what if there's some way to make a fucking wormhole with some element we just don't have yet, or something that we just haven't figured out yet, and we just end up doing that shit? Like teleportation actually doesn't seem that unfeasible to me. If we were in the, like, if we were to find the right things. That makes sense.
I agree, but I think there would be like a morality of how dangerous is this to experiment with, and should we? And then that becomes a question of like, we could do this really cool thing, but like, is it possible to do without hurting people, causing a fucking natural disaster or some shit?
Well, so a wormhole, right, like might cause like a natural disaster, but there's the idea of people who are like, oh, I would never like teleport because I would want to be the same person that I am. Like I wouldn't want to be like restructured from like each individual cell and then like teleported somewhere else. But a wormhole is like doing that for you, like outside of you. Like a wormhole would be like completely separate from your person. You know what I mean? And you would just go through that.
That's a crazy thought,
but whether or not a wormhole would then, you know, fucking open up and turn into a black hole and then fucking suck the entire world inside of it in like an instant, who fucking knows, you know? True. There's so many variables that like really, I guess you don't know until you are there. You know what I mean? We should try it. We should really try it.
We should. And honestly, I feel like as soon as we learned how to teleport, I would still be late to everything. And
there's always a new... Well, DJ explained this really, really well to me recently, sort of. He was saying time travel in a way kind of exists already, because you can get food literally instantly to your doorstep if you just forget you ordered something. In that way, time
Your
travel.
head empty.
Yeah, literally, if I order something on DoorDash and then in 20 minutes food arrives and I forgot that I ordered anything on DoorDash, that's basically time travel because your perception of what happened didn't exist during that time.
So time travel or teleportation?
I'm saying specifically for time travel.
Right. Okay. So I could travel through time if I get on a plane and I fall asleep and I wake up and I'm somewhere else.
Yes.
It's like, I feel like that's only a personal, like, time travel has to be more than just your perspective and how you perceive it. I feel like
you've seen Futurama, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how like Fry, he travels in time. Spoilers for the first episode of Futurama, but he travels in time because he gets like essentially he accidentally gets stuck inside this cryopod that freezes him for like fucking 1,000 years or whatever the fuck time it is.
Right.
And in that way, Fry time traveled because while he didn't experience time himself because he was asleep the whole time, and it happened in an instant for him, it was like however many years it was. You know what I mean?
I mean, in the show, do they call that time travel? Because I don't consider that time travel.
I don't remember what they call it. Is it DB here? if DB Collector is here, he'll know.
What I consider time travel?
No, they don't. They don't call that time travel.
What I consider time travel is you are in one time physically, and then you are physically in another time. And you are not like, you're not there the whole time, waiting out time. You're there, you are removed, and you are put back in another time.
Yeah, in that way, I don't think that time travel will exist.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think about time. I don't think time travel could exist. I don't know. I could just come back and slap myself in the face, and that would be pretty sick. I'm like old and withered.
I just feel like it would fuck up things too much, and it doesn't make sense. Like I don't think that there's a reason why we haven't seen proof of time travel, because if we did, like, if time travel ever became an accessible thing that people could do, it would destroy the world. There would be no world, or at least there would be no this world, you know? Like, so say if it's like, have you ever seen Doctor Who?
Yes. Yeah.
So in Doctor Who, whenever they go into time and they fuck with something, they're creating like a branch off of the timeline. They're not changing that timeline. They're creating essentially a new reality of things that happen along that timeline, which theoretically time travel could exist in that way, but you would ruin so many timelines by doing that. Like, if I were to go back in the past and punch myself in the face and knock me out before we're having a conversation and I'm just like laying on the floor, that would already be an alternate timeline where this one wouldn't be able to happen because I'd be passed out and not talking to you.
Yeah, I feel like if time travel was possible, it would not be legal. They'd be like, yeah, but like you can't do that though, because you're gonna fuck everything up. So just like don't fucking do that.
But what does that have to do with Roman cement? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Or everything. Maybe if we time travel, we can figure it out.
Real. That's the only reason why I would time travel, is just kind of see what got lost.
Yeah.
See what got lost in the sauce. I wouldn't change anything. I'd just be like, what's happening here? But even me being there and taking notes, that would be something. I want to become
omnipotent. Yeah.
Here we go.
That would be pretty sick.
I want to be a god. I want to be God.
That would kind of make you God. Yeah.
Would.
I would love to do like the Biff Tannen thing, you know, from like Back in the Future, and just kind of like be rich. That would be sick. Like go back in time and like, oh, this is the football team that wins this game. This is the thing that wins this. Like.
Yeah.
And bet, and then just become like a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, but you can travel through time. Why does money matter?
Because what if people in your life matter to you? What if you don't care about traveling through time and doing a bunch of different things? I just care about like living my current life but comfortably. You know what I mean?
What I would do is I would travel around in time, see what the vibes are like, and if it's better, bring my friends.
Just stay there. Yeah, just
over.
Chill out in the past.
That would be well in the future probably. I would probably pick a future.
Did you ever watch the show Heroes?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I have.
It was one of my favorites. It was my favorite show for the longest time. The first 2 seasons were goated. But there's this it's about a bunch of people that develop superhero powers, and one of them, like one of my favorite characters, he can travel through time, and he gets stuck essentially in like feudal Japan, and it's fucking sick, and it's so cool, and I'm like, damn, it'd be so great to be able to like, I mean, it's also like terrifying, right? But like it's so like there's like this sense of just like history and beauty that you just will not ever experience again ever, except through TV shows and media, and it makes you like long for that sort of shit.
What
so
if it was like
I feel that
way
way too.
more fucked up though? What if it's way more fucked up than you see in like you know, museums that pretty shit up, or like movies that make it look cool, and you go back and you're like, oh, this fucking blows, dog. What do you what? That would suck. It's just, everything's covered in dirt, and you're like, man, what the fuck?
For real. Or like, imagine going back to dinosaurs and like they could all talk, and like
what?
And they're like chill.
They're like talking like this because their mouths are fucking huge.
Yeah,
like,
dude, like
hi.
Absolutely. Like, just think about like, what if they all wore like top hats and like fancy dress, and they were cool.
You're like, that's pretty sick.
I bet racism didn't exist in dinosaur world.
I mean, probably not. probably not.
Yeah. They just kind of like survived, you know? Instinct. Dinosaurs had the biggest asses. Now let's calm down. Let's take a step
hold
back.
On. Well, now
bit.
I have to go back in time. I want to know your thoughts on something that's someone maybe that's also incredibly thick. Mothman. How do you feel about Mothman? Real?
Ooh,
not real?
Not real. Not even a little bit. My sister was super into it though. I remember.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was one of those things where it really like fucking stuck with her. But I never thought that Mothman was real. I was more into like the oh god, oh Jesus, why can't I think of what they're called right now? Like skinwalkers, sort of.
Yeah.
Because we lived in Arizona, and we like our grandparents, they lived in like Tucson, Arizona, which is like in the middle of the fucking desert. There's nothing around. And even now where my parents live, they live in southern Arizona. It's fucking terrifying out there, and it's like Skinwalker City. On God, I don't fuck with that shit, but I swear to God those are real. I swear to God, it's crazy. Yeah.
What do you like? What instance did you have like running into a situation like that?
It's just like being out in the wilderness and hearing people go help, help, and there's no one there, and like it's fucking terrifying.
Yo, that's fucking
or people that like sound like your mom calling you for dinner, but really she's in the house making dinner, and but you can hear her like in front of you, like that kind of shit. It's terrifying.
God, those are such good horror stories too. There's so many of those where it's like, you know, the two sentence horror stories where it's like my mom called me down for dinner, and then I looked up and my mom was sitting there going like,
she's like, you heard it too?
Yeah. Those are really good. But what was the game that used? It wasn't Skinwalkers, was it? It was Skinwalkers? What was the game that used it? Come on, chat, you gamers.
Skinwalker?
Come on.
What game? What are you thinking?
Until Dawn, Wendigos.
Oh, Wendigos. Yeah. Wendigos are crazy too. I don't know anything about them, like history wise, whether or not they're real, if that's like a thing that like people actually believe in. As far as I know, that's just like a myth, but that shit is scary as fuck. So like, great game too. I love that game.
With all this, also really, I agree, it's a great game. With all these things that have been lost to time, do you think there's anything really fucked up that just got like murked and then buried and no one remembered it? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, what if these monsters like or something close to it, right?
Yeah.
Did exist and they just got like buried in history.
Absolutely. I definitely think that there's things like that. Think about, there's people now that try to bury shit that, like, you literally can't, like, you can't do that anymore. The internet exists now. Like, nothing stays buried anymore, right? But, like, there were people trying to, like, refuse that the Holocaust happened to bury that shit so they didn't have to fucking think about it anymore. So, undoubtedly, there were things that people did in the past that were like, whoa, we do not, we didn't do that. That didn't happen. We're just gonna hide that shit. That ain't us. No.
Dude,
So, absolutely.
Something super interesting that I was, oh god, this is a game I want to play. What the fuck is it called? Bramble? Do you see the game Bramble?
No.
Okay, so it has, is it Nordic folklore, or what folklore is it? Does anyone know right now? But they have like a bunch of like old folk tales. Yeah, so fucking good. I really want to play it. Bramble, yeah. Really, really cool. It has like a bunch of old stories, and one of them,
the Mountain King.
Yes, really, really cool game. Indie horror game. Really gruesome. Super gruesome, really dark, really gruesome. As dark as you can probably get.
Sick.
So, yeah, but it's a really cool game. I really want to play it. Nordic Fables. Okay, cool. But it brought up this one thing that I was thinking about, and it was dude, it's so cool. I really want to play it too. I want to play it so.
I'm looking at like just the trailer on Steam, and I'm like, fuck, I hate horror games, but like the idea of like Nordic folklore is so sick. That's so sick.
It's really cool the way they do it. I highly recommend it. I haven't seen all of it because I've been wanting to play it, but they had a demo and it was like, I was like, oh, but it's not super scary. Like, I mean, I don't know how you would take it. For me, I don't consider it super scary. I see it more as very gruesome and
gruesome
dark.
Is fine. For me, it's like if there's a bunch of jump scares and it's dark and things run at you in the dark and you have to run around a house and no light switches work and you have to take photos. I'm like that shit I can't stand. I hate that shit.
I think of one section that I've heard of that might scare you, but I don't think it's not like super jump scary kind of stuff. But but what I did want to talk about is there was this one thing of like there was a story. This is the one that was in the demo. I don't want to spoil the game, but it's an old it's an old folklore that I find really interesting, and it's about the story of like people that literally dance to death. They just kept dancing. There was a town, and everybody just suddenly went hysterical and started dancing till they literally died. And I think that was not just a Nordic folklore thing. I think that was also something brought up that was maybe possibly even documented almost, where people just suddenly started like dancing and just died because they overdid it. But it's more of like do you think it's like something fantastical happened, or was everyone on shrooms and just got really high and there was just some weird shit going on? Because I've seen a lot of those explaining old folklores of people just being high.
I think it could definitely be a case of like either they got like super fucking high or poisoned, even like something fucked them up and like made them respond in that way. Oh shit. Okay, we just got a report that was boogie fever. Boogie fever.
Yeah.
So
I see that too.
Yeah, it's rough.
There's someone was saying mass hysteria, and that's true. I'm always really interested though on if it's mass hysteria or if there is a gas leak, if there's something in the water, they're being poisoned, they don't know how. I think that was also with the witch trials, is people were saying that it is possible that the town was just had something in the water and kept seeing things and kept thinking it was like witches and stuff like that. And it's very that is what really interests me, is how folklore maybe developed out of things that were maybe scientifically explainable. Because like I don't know. It's so interesting to think about because like we can't fucking check usually maybe.
Yeah.
So it makes it really interesting to try to think about like, okay, is there something there, or like was this super high? There was a lake that released a bunch of gas and suffocating almost everyone that lived near it. What the fuck? That is so fucked up. Can I just say that is the most fucked up shit I've heard. You're gonna go fishing, you're with your son, you're like, oh, let's put some bait on the hook, and then all of a sudden you can't fucking breathe. And it's because of a lake? Are you kidding me? Dude, that sucks.
That kind of shit is scary too, because it's like it's the same I feel about like Pompeii, you know, like with Mount Vesuvius. Like
God.
Not even like the lava or the impact or the explosion, like that wasn't killing people. It was the gases, it was the fumes, it was like that kind of shit is terrifying, because it's like the world is filled with these insane fucking catastrophic like capabilities, and we don't know, we probably don't know what all of them are yet. It's kind of scary.
1,700 people died. That's fucking horrifying. That's horrifying.
From the lake or from
no,
the
probably
dancing
Pompeii.
plague? Oh, Pompeii. Yeah.
He's talking about Pompeii.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really horrifying to think about. And I feel like there's so many fucked up things in the world that like lore would say witch, but it's really more fucked up to think about that's just the earth, in my opinion. You know, witches, oh, that's kind of, I guess, scary, but the fact that it's just this unthinking rock that's just spewing out toxic fumes that just kill you is just I feel like that's way scarier. Or like super volcano over, you know, like an entity that is haunting you to your grave. Maybe it's the thought that it's more personal, that there's thought behind it, you're being targeted. I don't know. There are other lakes that are in danger of it happening too. Well, I'm not moving anywhere near a lake, I'll have you know. I'm okay on not doing that.
DJ's in my chat right now, and he said, what about the dude who was hired in the early 1900s by San Diego to make it rain, where it then proceeded to rain unprecedentedly, making dams burst and bridges break, causing 20 deaths? Probably a coincidence, but the dude who did it had hundreds of successes on record for making rain, claimed it was a secret mix of chemicals, and built towers and shit as part of his process.
That's crazy. Why don't we have that more in California? Did they not
I
get
don't know what the
recipe?
fuck you're talking about. It rained so much this year. Maybe that dude came back.
Bro, the Rain Man.
Dude, for real though.
That's so crazy. And what I don't understand is, did he really just must have died with it, or maybe they were like, oh, some fucked up shit is happening as well. That did happen. I think the current theory is copper toxicity due to them eating off of. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the rain?
I think he's talking about the dancing.
The dancing?
I think so.
Oh, due to them eating off of so many copper things. Oh, I see. Corn smut. Like smut, like fan fiction or bread rot, etc. Corn smut. That's funny. Combination of all of them at once causes hallucinations and shit. I love that everyone was hallucinating and they're like, let's dance. They just decided.
Dance. But they danced, so I looked it up. They were dancing for weeks. Like they literally, like, how do you even, when you're sick,
that blows my mind
drugs,
too.
how do you dance
I
for
love
weeks?
The corn flying up to your mouth, but just floating very slowly, very funny.
I'm about to get fucked up with corn in a second here, on God.
Dude, shit, what was I gonna say? And like the thing that is very interesting to me is people get high in so many different ways.
Yeah.
From weed. So it's like, yeah, that's so interesting that people are like, you know, got high in this one specific way that they felt the need to dance for that long.
Yeah. And then it was a group of people too. Yeah. And then also, you know what's interesting too is that like even weed can have like crazy sort of effects on your brain in certain ways that can, in very rare cases, turn into actual like problems. I've known people who literally like like gotten so fucked up from weed, which is weird. You never hear about like weed having like any real side effects, but normally it's like if you have an underlying case of like schizophrenia or something like that, you can, if you take drugs or weed or things like that, it'll like ramp up those tendencies and like turn it into an actual problem. It's kind of crazy.
That's horrifying. That's horrifying that like maybe you don't know really that you have an issue, and then all of a sudden you like smoke weed and you're like, oh no. No.
No, dude. Yeah. Oh no,
Oh.
no. Wait.
I have a really interesting theory that Radio just sent in.
Okay.
There's a theory that mushrooms are the reason that we gain consciousness. Like monkeys ate mushrooms and got so high their brain expanded. I'm not sure, but I think it's really interesting. That's an interesting point, because don't shrooms and psychedelics like that change your brain? Like they change your brain, don't they?
I've never taken any actually. I because I'm afraid of the impact it might have on how I perceive the world. I don't want to. If you have one bad trip, could literally fuck your entire life over. Like there are people who go crazy from the experiencing a bad trip on psychedelics and get fucked up. Good trips are amazing from what I understand, but then it's like for me it's not worth the risk.
That's absolutely fair. And I don't like the fact that it has been shown to change your brain. Like it literally like changes your brain. You know, that part, you know, the mushroom thing is like, maybe we gain sentience, but the fact that it can change your brain and that's not like a myth is insane. Like that's so fucking crazy. My friend says they changed his brain for the better. Haven't tried them. Risky for sure. I feel like it's the lottery, dude. You either have a bad trip and you're just fucked, or you have a good trip and you're a better person, I guess. I don't know. It's so weird, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting, like, and I don't think I could ever do them. And the reason is I have so much anxiety that even weed will get me fucked up and I'll have a fucking panic attack. You know, so it's like, should I do shrooms? No. Am I going to? Probably not. And it's very interesting to me that how many crazy experiences people have when they do shrooms. It's like blows my mind.
I was gonna say that like maybe on my deathbed I would try it, but at the same time it's like I don't know if I would want to do that either, because what if when you die,
so scared.
Yeah, what if you have a bad trip when you're dying, and then but what if you're like you still persist after your body decays, or like after you technically die? What if your soul still exists and you're experiencing that high now forever, and that's just your new life?
Okay, I wasn't expecting a high forever. Some people would be so into that though. They'd be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get high as a kite right before I go.
DJs like that too.
Eternal high. That's very interesting. Oh,
No,
I do want to
you.
talk to you about that. And then also I do want to talk to you about something else if I can't remember it.
Okay.
I think I forgot it. But I did want to say, I think that theory is very interesting. Like the eternal, you're eternal kind of is a very interesting thought. And I not to get too much into like religion or anything, because I don't want to do that. But I think the theories are very interesting of maybe afterlives that aren't just religious. Like the idea of, like matter can't be created or destroyed. And so you kind of just go back into the universe kind of vibe. That's very interesting to me. That's like a very interesting thought, because I dig it because it makes more sense to me in that way. But eternal high as maybe like a pill bug would be really fun.
That's so true. That's very valid. So I also don't want to get like too much into religion or anything, because I know obviously people are going to have so many different opinions and stances and everything. Yeah. But just as a small background for people who don't know, or I don't even know if you know, but I was raised Buddhist. So I was raised with the idea of like reincarnation being how like people passed on and like you left this world and then came back, and always wanted to kind of like follow the golden rule in a way, because in Buddhism, like karma is a big thing, and so you want to get reincarnated into like a healthy entity of some kind, like either another human or, you know, whatever karmic, you know, justice you get that like releases into your next life. And I don't practice Buddhism anymore. I haven't since I was about 16, but I still think that even if it's a form of like copium, I think that's the thing that makes the most sense as well, is the idea of your part of you, or the energy that makes up you, your soul or whatever. I feel like that is something that doesn't just go away. It's not this eternal blackness forever, because like it doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like that you are created, you are in this world for, like, maybe not for a reason or for a purpose, but like you're there. So for you to suddenly not be there anymore just because your husk has, you know, gotten too old, or it's because you're too fragile or whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean that you goes away forever. It just means that there's gonna be a different place for you to go, maybe.
Right. And what I think is super interesting about that as well is it's like the idea of self is very interesting in that way, because it's like you change so much as a person. I'm not the same person I was previously anyway. Like as a kid, I'm not the same person. Yeah. So it's like, what person are you going to be at that point? And then what you would be the one that is like, you know what I mean? It's very complicated thought. And though I don't necessarily, I don't know, I'm very open to a lot of things. But in that, I don't think there would ever be eternal darkness, because I don't think if there was eternal darkness, I don't think you would have a consciousness. I don't think you would recognize there's eternal darkness. I don't think that would even be a possibility.
No, but the eternal, that's not something that you would experience, right? So right. Like, I think it's kind of like falling asleep in a way where, you know, you wouldn't, you kind of just don't exist. Like you don't exist anymore. So those are the two things. I think that those are the two possibilities. Either that you don't exist anymore, everything is over, everything is eternal darkness, but you don't go through that because you don't exist anymore. That is only something that we perceive now while we're alive, and we don't want that to be a thing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's like, but we're not going to experience that after we're gone. Right. Or we get reincarnated into something else, and that it's just we exist in some way, in some form, past our body. That makes any sense. And also, for someone who said, do animals get reincarnated then? I don't see why not. I don't think that your soul is related to intelligence. So I don't see why not.
I mostly enjoy the idea of, which is it's very straightforward, of whatever blood sack I'm in right now, right? It like all just goes into the dirt or wherever. I don't know, the ocean, chuck me out there. I don't know, but it's all like the same shit. It all like goes in the same shit, and I do appreciate that. I like that, even if I don't necessarily believe in anything or any of that. I think the soul idea that it's like, I go somewhere and I'm just returning to whence I came, wherever the fuck that may be. You know? Yeah. I think that's interesting. I like the cycle of life, not necessarily an idea of
I'm also looking at, like, in a way, and I know that this is just pure copium, like full copium, but I really hope that if reincarnation is real, or if there is, no matter what happens when you die, I hope that there's an answer when you die as to, like, there is that version of you that dies, that knows what happens after you die. Like, I want the answer to be like, hey, yes, you do get reincarnated. Here's your choices. By the way, brain wipe. You don't get to remember this. Like, I like to think that after I die, I know where I get to end up. Even if it is like eternal nothingness, it's like that doesn't matter, because, you know, I like, as long as I get to like learn that before starting my next life, like, that'd be sick.
Someone said straight to hell. You're just like, oh well, I guess. I mean, if I have to, fuck. I guess at least I get to know. Yeah, and I think that's how a lot of people feel about that. You know, you always want there to be something else. But you know, I'm very content with just like whatever.
Yeah, I'm
You
kind
know.
of just like big vibing, dude. I'm like, I like where I'm
Real.
at right now,
Real.
and that's cool.
Yeah.
So
And that's great to like focus on doing what you're gonna do.
that's
and
also like why I don't really agree with the incentive of like, oh, be good so you get to get reincarnated into something good, or you get to go to heaven, or you don't go to hell, or whatever. Like, I don't agree with those things because I just want to make my life that I know exists as good as possible,
Right.
regardless of what my future might hold. I think that since there's no way of knowing, you might as well just spend the time that you have with like the best possible outlook on like how to improve your life and not necessarily your afterlife.
Right. I get that. I feel like it's like I wouldn't do fucked up shit just because I don't want to, because I want to, you know, have friends that like me, and you know what I mean? Like I just like I don't see the point in doing fucked up shit because I just simply don't want to do it. Like literally no other reason. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't kill a dude. Yeah, because I don't fucking want to do it, man. Like, I don't know. Like, what else do you want, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty fond of the idea of doing things that improve your own life, but also not at the cost of anybody else's life. Like,
Yeah.
not in a way
I
that
feel
will
like that's a
negatively impact anybody
normal-
else.
That's a normal way to feel, though. I feel like that's perfectly normal and okay. And I don't need to do anything crazy.
If that's a normal way to feel, then why do so many people not do that? Why do so many people not give a shit about hurting others as long as it benefits themselves? Like, where does that fall for them?
People built different. No, it is not okay to want to murder. Look. Here's the thing. People are built so different that the right and wrong, like, people from their perspective doesn't necessarily see what they're doing as wrong. What if you could do SEO smarter? Sorry, there's an ad. I'm trying to listen to copyright-free music and it keeps running ads.
Dude.
But I feel like it's kind of just like, you know, people are don't necessarily see right and wrong, and that's you know, it's hard because you need them to fit into a society where they're not going to do fucked up shit. And for some people, it's easier to do that by being like, you will go to hell. Because some people just don't, they're built not to really understand that the same way.
That really sucks that there's people who need a reason to not do fucked up things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
That sucks. Yeah, no, I'm just making that observation. That just sucks.
I completely agree. And it's just, it sucks that people are built different or have an upbringing that makes their brain go different, or, you know, stuff like that. Because like, as you develop, I mean, shit, you become a different person, and experiences change you into the person that you become inevitably. So it's kind of just like, what do you do here?
It's a, I mean, think about it. The laws have changed so much just within like 100 years or 200 years, that things that people did that thought were okay are now like completely illegal. And it's like, are those people technically like bad people because they didn't, like, they did these things before laws were invented? Like, or even
You know what I mean? Isn't that just one big conspiracy? See? What happens? What? You know what's interesting is, okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can't. I can hear you. She's not in the Discord apparently, but she's in the Hello, are you here? Sure. Do you want me to mute you while you do that, or are you good? Or I muted myself. Hold on. I got this. I'm gonna mute desktop audio. Okay, so we're gonna let her do that. Amy, and that happens. Look, conspiracy theories are fun. Everyone can believe whatever they want to believe as long as they're not hurting anyone else. I feel like that's fair to say. So, you know, I feel like this is all in good fun. If you feel like, if you feel a different way, that's okay. If you feel a different way, that's okay. So I just want to make that known while we're having a break. When is the planned Betty by time? Kind of late. I need to eat. I think I'm waiting on food. One sec.